Blackest Panther goes, F&F International, W Africa, Wakanda Forever. Good evening, ladies. Why do you think women's sexuality has been suppressed, restricted since the beginning of human civilization across pretty much all known cultures? Do you think it makes any sense? Why? I'll make this simple. Why did they suppress female sexuality since the beginning of time, ladies? Do you think it's good, bad, and do you think it makes sense? We can start right here with you, Miss Birth Dance.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like it's because women's wombs hold like the ultimate power to creation.
Okay.
Like we're the ultimate souls that bridge the gateway between the physical realm and the spiritual realm through our very wombs, because we literally birth life into this existence through our womb. So they've tried to suppress the woman's power, and they've tried to create a sort of patriarchy where men are on top and distort the divine feminine and divine masculine from really working together as a unit, like it was in ancient civilizations where they used to actually look up to the woman, where the woman was actually the ruler. If you look into ancient Kemet and ancient Egypt, it was really the woman and the divine goddess who...
Yeah, she was God, right?
Yep.
See, this is where the world's fucked up, man. People like you.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
So you said something. Wait, I'm confused. You said something about the patriarchy?
Right, and that's why the feminine power has been so suppressed, because they don't want women really coming into our power and working as a unit together. Because if we actually worked in unity and not jealousy, then we would transform the whole consciousness of humanity.
And level up.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be fair to say that men and women work together, which is why the patriarchy was successful in the first place?
No, it was because we weren't working together. There's a disconnection, and we keep looping through traumas. It's only until the divine feminine and masculine actually work together that we'll see progression in this society, in this world. But we're just looping through a lot of traumas and unconscious patterns, and that's why society and a lot of relationship issues happen the way they are today, and why the world looks the way it is today. And why society is so fucked up is because we're not actually looking in the mirror of ourselves and creating a space of safe and authentic communication between the masculine and feminine to actually heal and elevate and integrate our shadows and our traumas to truly progress into a higher reality and a higher frequency.
Yo, this might sound weird, right? Question for you. Aliens. You ever seen one?
I am one.
Yo, where's the Hennessy, man?
Have you
Not again.
ever been abducted before?
I have. Yeah, like by the Pleiadians.
What did they look like? No, I'm being honest here.
They look like humanoids. Actually, I went to an ayahuasca ceremony in Los Angeles.
There you go. There you go.
And then I saw a Lyran being, which is like a feline humanoid. It looks like a cat human type of being.
Yeah.
And I saw it during the ayahuasca ceremony. I actually jumped into like my energy. Like
No
it
way.
literally merged into
Me
my...
too.
For real.
Yeah. That was funny as hell.
I'm so confused. Yeah, but it was a pretty powerful experience.
Yo.
All right, get Chris the Hennessy.
I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people gotta numb themselves out with alcohol and not really like feel into their heart.
Yeah, here you talk.
All right. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
All right.
She's last.
Yeah.
Always.
Okay. Going back to the question, why do you think female sexuality has been suppressed for the longest amount of time? And do you think it makes sense?
To be honest, I think women are more emotional.
Okay.
And I think that's why a lot of men don't trust our judgment, because sometimes we're emotional and we make the wrong decisions in the heat of the moment.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank God, man.
Okay.
You learned something.
So you think
No, I
that,
just know.
but it's female sexuality that was suppressed and restricted. Do you think the sexuality has to do with their emotions? To bring it full circle, because that's the question specifically.
What do you mean? Sexuality.
Yeah, the question is, women sexuality has been suppressed or restricted since the beginning of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you why do you think that is, and then do you think it makes sense?
To be honest,
Yes or no, and why?
I think that everything's about a balance, and I think women should be included a little bit. And I think both men and women should work together. Like, I do piggyback off of what she's saying, because it doesn't make sense. We should both be incorporated to create something better for everybody, not just
that doesn't answer
one-sided.
the question.
What do you mean?
The question is, why do you think women's sexuality has been suppressed and restricted since the beginning of human civilization?
Because they're emotional.
Okay, because they're emotional.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think this is good? Do you think it makes sense? Yes or no, and why?
I'm saying it's not that good because you need both people to make conscious decisions on everybody. You can't just have men make decisions for everyone. It doesn't
So
make
who
sense.
should be the final decision maker in your opinion?
I think
then?
it should be both. It shouldn't be
It
nobody.
can't be both.
Yes,
Can't be-
it can. You
How?
okay, you have just like you have a Congress, you have a certain amount of people, same thing.
But
Yeah,
there's
but the
one
president can veto that.
final maker
Yeah,
for choices.
Damn.
there always has to be a hierarchy in anything.
That's a good question.
There's a CEO.
This is why the patriarchy works. See,
you know,
all right.
committee.
We'll come back to you.
That's a good question. Damn.
Bro.
I don't think men should either. I think it should be both, but you're right. There has to be one.
So half woman,
so
half man.
if you had to pick one gender to make the final decision, who would you pick?
Be honest.
I would say women.
Wow.
Even though by your own definition, women are more emotional and more
Yes.
prone to make emotional decisions, which could be erratic.
But at the same time, they are in more nurturing roles, so they're more in touch with the population than men are.
Oh, interesting. So why don't you go ahead and take that mindset with your man? Did you say a second ago you want emotional, intelligence and all this other crap?
Ooh.
Yes.
He could be more
However,
nurturing to you.
you have to
Why don't
also
you
be.
accept that?
But you're also the same man that was in the classroom and in the same hospital that those women were in. So at the end of the day, you're still affected by them.
I find it interesting that for your own survival and you having a mate, you want them to have emotional intelligence. But when we're talking about society and the betterment of human progress, you want a woman to lead it. But you would never even have a woman
I
lead it
said
in your own
both.
personal relationship.
I said both, but I had to make a choice, and I
you,
would say
and you
women.
think it's women.
I would say because we're more in touch with our nurturing side. Men
and
are
your
not as
emotional
nurturing.
stuff and emotions, which you
Yes.
literally just were not a fan of when we talked about it before with a man.
No, I'm not a fan of it, but at the same time, women play a dominant role in making sure that people are who they are right now as we speak.
Yo,
This is incredible.
You've been looping for like 10 minutes straight. But
But it's the truth, though. Women are in classrooms. Women are in hospitals. They affect every single person. So what do you mean? Why can't they be in power too?
If you were on a plane
Yeah.
going to Africa from here,
Mm-hmm.
what pilot would you want? Man or woman?
I feel like as long as you're experienced, you could drive me.
She's on a period. She's emotional. She's got a breakup.
But men also have a thing where they don't know how to control their emotions sometimes too, because they're not taught that either.
Okay, so both of them have issues. They're both emotional. Who you picking as a pilot?
I don't want to say based off of their sex or gender. It's just off of their person. Are
You
they?
just said a second ago you're okay with women leading it,
Yes, because they're more nurturing
but you're
than
making
men.
a decision off gender.
Okay, but that's not the same thing as what he's asking.
I am.
No, because you're asking me about a pilot, not somebody who's leading the
They're-
world. That's two different things.
It's your safety.
I would just say a man for argument's sake.
Nah, that's fine, man. You just been contradicting yourself all night. It's fantastic, though.
No.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
not.
Okay, so let's see here. Women's sexuality has been suppressed, restricted since the beginning of human civilization. Okay. Do you think this makes sense? Yes or no, and why?
Yes, because women and men are not the same.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that?
It means a man that having 100+ body count is not the same as a woman having that same body count. It's not the same because men do the fucking, not
Okay.
women.
Okay.
Therefore, a woman body count should be very sacred. She should definitely have her lower body count.
Not 1,000.
No.
Okay.
It's like having a Ferrari,
to.
you know, you're not going to want to buy a Ferrari that's like, it's being used so many times. You're going to prefer the one that has less miles, right?
I still drive it though.
Bro, you're a misogynist. You're a misogynist, bro.
Misogyny.
You're a misogynist, bro. Get her out of here, man.
I still drive it though.
Vroom, vroom.
1,000 miles. You wouldn't buy it.
Okay. Oh, shit.
I'll drive it.
Okay.
For a long time.
What about you? Why do you think women's sexuality has been suppressed or restricted since the beginning of time?
Well,
Do you think it makes sense? Yes or no? Why?
it makes sense. I think just because of cultures and religions, I think people's cultures follow certain religions, and I have my religion, and other people have theirs, and I feel like for
What's
me,
yours?
a Kabbalist, I'm Jewish.
Oh, wow.
okay.
Yeah, but everybody has
What?
their own religions and how they view sex and marriage and everything. And who am I to tell someone that is Muslim to live a certain way and me have my own? Like it makes sense that these different religions, as long as they, exist, it'll probably still continue.
So that's why women are suppressed.
In certain religions, they don't have as much freedom as here in like the States.
Got it.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, but as far as flying like a flight, I mean, I guess man or woman, as long as they're like an Air Force One, like there's.
Okay, but if you had to choose one though, for your survival and safety through a long plane trip.
Okay, you know how you brought up the period thing? Okay, it's like, okay, a woman with a hysterectomy.
Okay.
Because she won't have a period then. So I'm like, all right, okay. But I don't know that she'll have a hysterectomy, so,
Just say it, man. You know you want to say it, man. Okay, what about you?
I think now that I'm older, I understand as to why women shouldn't be that promiscuous, and I feel that it's because we have like an inner organ, and I think that we have more like spiritual attachment when we engage with more men. Like,
because you're receiving.
Yeah, I feel like they're demons or whatever, like attached to us energetically. So I don't think it's like a good idea. So I think they were doing that to help us out.
Is she right?
Yeah. Facts. Because whenever you have sex, I feel like you exchange energy.
Right.
And you literally have spiritual cords or energy cords to whoever you have sex with.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What about you?
What about you?
I think it makes sense because in order to have a functioning society, you have to have a functioning family. And the only way that you can guarantee that the family is safe is if all the children come from the same man. Because since the guy is the one that has to be the provider, then you must make sure that it's only him. So you have to. Well, now we have birth control, but when like the era that the question is addressing, they didn't have no birth control, so it's very difficult for you to have children with multiple men, because then they're not going to be providing for you, because they're not going to provide for other men's children. So that's the way to keep the society cohesive, by keeping family cohesive. And you do that by having the women not be promiscuous.
Are their parents together?
No.
Who here has both their parents still together?
Mines were together until my father passed away.
Okay. My condolences.
Goddamn, nigga. Nah, man, come on, bro.
Yeah.
It was 12 years ago, so it's okay.
I mean,
Okay, play it.
Oh,
She got time to call, man.